Hey everyone, so just a quick little disclaimer before getting into this video. You may not be aware, but I lived with my family in Central Florida, and we were directly in the path of Hurricane Ian last week, pretty much right in the path. Unfortunately, we did not get the brunt of the storm. Everyone's okay. We got through it relatively unscathed, but we did lose power for about 4 days, close to 4 days. And even after we got our power restored, we still had no cable and very limited internet access for the next 2 days after that. So it took us about a week to get back to normal in this household. And because of that, obviously, I was not able to do one of the two videos that I wanted to do. I was doing a video this week, and I kind of had to do them both quickly this week, all at the same time, because I didn't have the opportunity to do one last week. And because of that, in that rush to get them both done very quickly, as part of our Skype conversation that we had, unfortunately, the video portion on our end for me and Amada was pretty much, it just cut me off. And I couldn't really do much to salvage that part of the conversation. But the audio is intact. So I had to put a little something together, try to get a good shot of just Amada and me from the first review we did, and just kind of insert that in and edit the two together. So you will be able to hear us talking, but you won't actually see us. We'll just be frozen in place. It's the best I can do. Tried my best. So I apologize for that, but it really couldn't be helped. So that being said, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified when new content is uploaded in the future. And hopefully at this point, it will now be on a pretty much regular basis like I was trying to do. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, this is Damon.
And Amada!
And we're back with Mike.
Hey folks.
Brian is not, well, first of all, let me just say that this is a little bit late, this review for episode 2, because we got stuck in the Hurricane Ian. We were out of power for a while, so we're going to try to make this like a quick little video, because this is already, like
2 weeks behind.
Well, like a week and a half behind already. We've already seen episode 3, so
yeah.
We want to talk about episode 2. We did not want to skip over that. Brian would not have been with us anyway. He already did his little review for the Quantum Leap podcast Aftershow. I will provide the link to that in the description below. And you can see him there, even though that was about a week ago. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to talk quickly about Quantum Leap episode 2, Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Janus.
Yeah. Two little things I wanted to talk about. First of all, it's Quantum Leap in space, which we never quite saw before.
No.
I bet Sam would have got a kick out of that.
Yeah. We had
Absolutely.
the fake out in the original series.
Yeah, that's right.
The chimpanzee.
Right.
Oh.
Right. So, do you want to go first with your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, I didn't know a ton about the Atlantis mission, so I actually went and read the Wikipedia article about it. Interestingly, there wasn't a 1998 launch. No big surprise there, because this was a fictitious leap, or perhaps not. Maybe it wasn't on the public record. But yeah, it was interesting how I liked how they gave Ben a bit of a background there, where he leaped into someone who he remembered admiring as a kid, and they both immigrated to the U.S. and the leapy actually became an astronaut, and he aspired to become an astronaut. So he was kind of like living out a childhood dream. So I thought that was kind of a cool take. Yeah, just a couple things I noticed was, and I noticed this in episode 3 as well, they keep saying leapt instead of leaped. And I'm sure
that's really the correct usage of the word, though, I think.
It is, but the original series always said leaped. Because it sounds better in a way to me, but anyway, I digress. And one really cool shot I thought was when Addison was sitting on top of the shuttle when Ben was out doing the in the cargo area. That was very Al. That was very much, Al sitting in a weird place or being positioned in a place where a person would normally be. So overall, I really enjoyed the episode. It felt like Quantum Leap. It was a big improvement over the first episode, and it was good.
Yeah, that's what we
I agree.
thought. Yeah.
100%.
One thing I wanted to, and you also realize it took place in 1998. If you think about it, even though they didn't mention it in the show at all, but somewhere on Earth in 1998, Al is there in New Mexico, probably talking to Sam on a leap. Between leaps, maybe, but
right.
Never know. There's some little overlap there. I mean, they didn't bring it up, but I feel like I would like to see that opportunity come up again. I hopefully continue. I feel like they got to do something like that, right? Like that's an interesting thing that I observed anyway.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, from 1995 to 2000, it would have to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You never got to leap into the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and so the main things I wanted to point out was for fans of the OG series, and you noticed it too, the name Samantha Stratton.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, we noticed that right away.
Yeah, that was something I actually kind of knew, but I didn't. One of the things that I knew that I didn't tell you, just because I just saw it like in the guest cast with stuff. I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting, that name, and the age lines up because I think the actress, I think her name is Carly Pope. She's actually 42 years old, which is like the exact age that Samantha Stratton would have been in 1998.
Oh.
Because she was born in 56.
Yes. Yeah.
For anybody who doesn't know, I'm if you're not familiar with the original series in Genesis, Sam
the first episode.
Yes, the first episode. Sam leaped into Tom Stratton, Air Force pilot, and saved his life by breaking Mach 3. But
and the baby.
And the original history,
yes,
his wife Peg went into premature labor, and Samantha was stillborn, and he helped
calm her down.
Yeah, he got her drunk.
Yeah, that's right.
He got her drunk so that she wouldn't go into premature labor, and then she was born, and they named the kid Samantha.
Oh,
remember, just like
Sam.
Yeah, and this is like an example of just like this leap probably wouldn't have even happened if not for Sam, because she would have existed. So
somebody's looking out for Sam still.
So it's like this example of what they're saying in the final episode about one life, you touched others, and those lives others, and it's like a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So, and again, they didn't mention it in the show.
No, they didn't.
They didn't mention the
Not
whole thing.
all.
I think it was an Easter egg more for us OG fans, I think, right? But I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's, I had a theory that maybe this is kind of what they're going to do with the show, and maybe part of these leaps are happening because of history that's already been changed by Sam. We'll have to see how everything goes.
Interesting perspective for sure.
Yeah.
But we had to explain it to my mom like 3 times. We just recently watched it. She's already seen the whole series once. So when we watched it again this year to catch up, she was like, oh, yeah, that episode. Oh, yeah, that episode. And, of course, the more recent ones she remembered more.
Right.
But then I had to remind her. I was like, look, did you hear what he said? Her name is Samantha Stratton. And then, explain everything.
But she didn't remember, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Oh, she did.
My mom's only 76 years old. She still has a good memory.
Yeah. Okay, and what else was I going to say here? Well, the other big thing, of course, was in the present day, the return of Beth. Al's wife.
That was so cool.
I knew that. I didn't tell her.
I cried.
Yeah. They did spoil it to you. They showed you the name in the beginning, Susan Diol.
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Yeah, well, I know her name. But we didn't see much of her, but that was really nice to actually get her back, like a legacy character.
And she's in each episode coming forward, so that's even more cool.
She's in the next episode too. So
you saw the 3rd episode?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Well, we're going to do a
She's
review
back.
on it.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Janus. What I will say is, well, we're going to talk about her more in episode 3, but I was not sure how I'm liking how they're portraying her. They're kind of treating her like a nemesis.
Mm.
It almost seems like.
Yeah, they threw us a curveball for sure, but we need to have some sort of antagonist in the show, right?
Yeah, but she's Al's daughter. I don't know.
But we don't know, 100% if she's an antagonist. She could just be being portrayed as an antagonist.
I don't think she is, but they're setting her up like this whole. That's kind of the one little thing I had a problem with was just they're in her house or whatever, and it's like her little lair, and then it's like she's setting off booby traps and slipping out a hatch in the floor. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's working on a super project.
It just seemed a little over the top for me. I don't know how you felt.
I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, it seemed excessive. I'm not sure how that would go undetected in her basement. Maybe in an industrial area, or somewhere where that kind of power consumption wouldn't be wouldn't be noticed. I have a feeling the electrical company might see if she's running thousands upon thousands of kilowatt hours a month to power her servers and security system, and it just seemed like a lot for a bit of a stretch, I guess is the word I'm looking for. For it to be actually in her house. But anyhow, I'll go with it.
Maybe she's like super smart. She got around it.
Yeah. We'll bypass the meter somehow. Yeah.
We'll talk about it more in episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
But she has a little bit more significant thing there. I wasn't sure how I felt about her. She's talking to Magic on the phone, and she's actually referring to Beth by
first name.
Yeah.
Really?
That was weird.
Yeah.
Just because you don't talk to your mom for a year doesn't mean you can call her Beth.
Yeah, that just seemed a little weird to me too. But speaking of the present, we did get to see more of Jen. I remember saying in episode 1, I'm not sure how we felt about her, so they did give her a lot to do.
Yeah, no, agreed. We were suspect about where they would take her character as the head of security, but obviously there is a lot of security to deal with, especially with Janus running around. So maybe Jen and Janus will be they'll be playing cat and mouse with each other for the season.
Even my mom said, I don't like her. I don't like, and I'm like, why do you not like her? She's obviously like, empathic and trying to be like the balanced person to figure out like, why did Ben do this? And why did, Addison do that? And like, this happened. And she's like, I'm still here, but this is how I feel. It's like, bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, somebody's, they're going to have to explain this, obviously.
Right.
It's Jen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So weird. We'll find out. I'm sure they're going to give us
yes. Oh, yes.
There'll be some backstories. If they're doing it the way that I think they're doing it, we're going to have some more backstories on Magic, on Addison, on Jen, on...
Oh, yeah.
What's his name?
Ian.
Yeah, like a hurricane.
Right.
Yeah. They're
right.
Gonna have some more they'll do some backstories, but we're jumping forward a little bit, but
yeah,
I love that like they started making it more focused on the leak.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that was
a little backstory, and now we're moving into why he's there and what he's doing and why he's doing it. So that's exciting.
Yeah, there was I did feel better about there was more time there at the leap, and I thought it was a pretty good story. It was like I actually did care about more of characters now.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Cool.
His name was Commander Reynolds. Like I do remember his name now. Like that was her commander.
Oh, and that's the other thing I wanted to say. I love the ethnicity of everybody being present on that spaceship. Like that is what it is today.
Yeah.
Like even if it was in the 90s, it was like, hello.
Yeah.
There was Hispanic, there was African American, there was white, or everybody.
Yeah.
America. It was like, oh, okay, that's cool,
Yeah. Yeah, I know the one thing, though, and they said it was like a bit far-fetched at the end when he's doing the space jump.
Oh, my God. Did you, freak out when he jumped? Seriously? I was kidding me? He just jumped away from the spaceship in space.
Yeah.
Off by even a fraction of
and then he almost didn't make it. He had to latch on really quick. I mean, are you kidding me? This guy has balls.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Well, it's funny because over the summer I read a book called The Apollo Murders by Chris Hadfield. An actual astronaut who's been to space. And, well, mute your video now in case you want to read it. But there is a scene where two Soviet astronauts jump from their spaceship over to the Apollo 18 or whatever one they were flying. So I thought that was very reminiscent of that book, because I was thinking the way it was written in the book was fantastic, and you know what, they executed it almost the same here, where it was close.
Are you kidding me? And I was all like, oh, he'll be fine. He's got like the little,
the little
no.
He can move his way around in case he gets off of it or whatever. But he wasn't an astronaut.
Yeah.
He was just trusting the fact that something out there was leaping him around, and that's what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And that's so big. I mean, like, that's big. Sam wasn't even that trusting until like the 5th season.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Ben is definitely taking a much more proactive approach, it seems.
Right.
Oh, I'm taking control of this leap and whatever. And Sam wouldn't. I never would have done that.
Right.
It could be a byproduct of just this is current TV though too. It's like we have to be a little edgier. Like we gotta get this wrapped up pretty quickly.
Mm.
So, but I did like it overall.
That was so exciting.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, absolutely.
I even Facebooked it. He left. Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess the only other little thing is, I guess I could have seen a little more like floating around on the ship. We got to see a little bit of that, but it would have been a little too distracting for the audience. Like just while they're inside there, like there was like some pretty good effects too.
Oh yeah, like when the guy got hit and there was and it wasn't too gory, which was good.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree.
But, the last thing was that map at the end.
Oh my
when
God!
When they're figuring out the thumb drive thing.
Yeah,
they're mapping out all the time, like all the little
timelines
and the little dots.
What did you think that was?
I had no clue at the time. It looked like it was supposed to be 4-dimensional, right? It was.
Right.
Yeah, it was a mystery that I was looking forward to learning more about.
What do you think is at the center? That little.
Well, yeah, that's a very good question. That's the mystery I think this whole season is going to be about. Is
no, I think so.
What is Ben trying to get to?
I think it has to be connected to Sam somehow. Maybe it's not directly him. I've heard some things now since then. Had some time to think about it. It might not be exactly Sam because we don't know for certain if we're gonna get him anytime soon.
Right.
So I think it's inevitable he will show up, but I think it has to center around him somewhat.
Or Al.
Yeah.
Happened in Al's life. Now that you've said that, I'm wondering, why does she say Beth? Is that not her mother?
It's supposed to be. Yeah, no, I've heard things like evil leapers. I'm like, no, please don't do her. No.
Not in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, no, please don't have her be an evil leaper. That would just really be bad. I can't imagine that.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
It's obviously something the two of them are working on together. Because she helped write the code, and he was willing to, jump into the accelerator prematurely when he was supposed to be the observer, not the leaper. Right. So, yeah, I wonder, because Janus is obviously quite intent on living up to her father's legacy and trying to rescue Sam. So either it has something to do with Al that will help get Sam home, or something that will put Al at peace.
Right.
I think we're skipping ahead a little. I think that was more great.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I think that's yeah. With that, we should probably wrap up episode 2 because I
Okay.
think that's kind of what we were. I think we really want to talk
covered
about.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I loved that he left and he realized that the timeline was off because of the UTC. He was all, it's a different time for them.
Right. The Russians
he knew that. He wouldn't have known that if he wasn't from a different side of the country.
Right. The Russians were asleep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Wake them up.
Station.
That was so cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're like, oh, okay. Because I used to do some things like that with this project I used to work on called Thrill the World, where I taught Michael Jackson Thriller for world records and for charity. It was fun.
Yeah.
Fun Thriller. And so I learned all about that. And so that was really clever of him to go, they're asleep. Let me just wake them up. And it's such it's like such an innocent thing to think. It's just like he just thought it and he was like, I'll just go and wake him up. Not thinking that he could possibly just miss the ship.
Right.
Yeah.
Again.
I think
pure bravery.
Yeah, and I think they like maybe joked around about it sometimes where like even in the old show where Al was like, oh, Ziggy didn't take into account the time zone and this.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, right.
Come on.
It's supposed to be like a super hybrid computer and now what?
Yeah.
But it was great. I loved that episode. I was very excited about it and very happy.
Yeah.
And good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely much better than the first episode.
You're
Not that it wasn't bad, but
it was definitely
it
better,
was definitely better.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
So, all right. So we are going to next up talk about what is it? Somebody up there likes Ben.
Somebody up
Yeah.
there.
So he gets punched out. He's in the boxing ring yet again. Episode 3, just like the original show. Episode 3.
Yes. Yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, third episode of the original
I
show.
didn't realize
was
that.
He was a boxer.
He was all like, "Is Cody gonna be there?" And I'm like,
Kid Cody.
"None in the audience." I don't know.
Yeah, or something relating to it.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the next episode. So, and again, I'm Damon and Amada, and be sure to click.
I'm Mike.
Hi.
Yeah. And until next time, everyone, see you then.
Keep the leap.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.